Come back. Come back over. Come back. Come back. Oh my God. Boy. What are you going to do, right? People are going to be like, you got this program. I don't know. So, see, we got people back. Okay. Now let's try and invite people. What the heck, man? Put this up here. Oh. All right. Oh, people are coming back. People coming. Ah. I didn't even get Big Herm. Big Herm really want. No. I really wanted to get rid of the echo, didn't I? Big Herm, come on. You want to jump on here? I put the link in there. Put the link in. I'll do it again. Herm, come on. Damon. Derek. I did. The link's up there. Link's over there. Come on. See if we can get some people. You're back.
Oh, I got confused switching between tabs. Sorry, I didn't even know I was live. I am back.
Oh, we got somebody else here. We got the Hypno Hustler.
The Hypno Hustler himself.
The Hypno Hustler.
I feel like we almost got hustled there.
Maybe the Hypno Hustler will save this broadcast from being a total disaster, man.
I have no idea what we were talking about. Something about Kang, but I can't remember anymore.
Yes, well, Kang is all over. He's supposedly getting more popular. I don't know.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've always liked Kang.
Yeah.
It's just not the whole Loki phenomenon, but Loki has certainly put him forefront in the comics.
Right.
Savage Avengers, Fantastic Four. He's got his own limited series and yada, yada, yada. So I think I'll try that. I'll get that Fantastic Four though, now that you guys have recommended it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it'll be cheap in a couple of months.
There you go.
True.
Well, you guys have the benefit, we don't, but you get the TFA special, but there's a lot of variants out for that one too.
A lot,
yeah.
Well, what confuses me,
like 8 of them, 8 variants.
I thought Fantastic Four #1 came out in early August of 1961.
I believe
not
it did.
Early September.
I believe it did, but for some reason they decided to.
They screwed
wait
up
until September. Yeah, they did. Guess what?
They must have
Marvel
had a production problem or something.
You screwed up. There you go.
Well, it's like the legacy numbering,
Hey, I like to go by the legacy numbering, really.
Well, I like the legacy numbering too, but when they start adding one-shots and everything else.
Right. The legacy numbering becomes very suspicious.
Yes, when all of a sudden, oh yeah, we're Venom 300.
How's that
happen? We got him there. He's there.
Batman. They could be on like 10,000 by now if they really wanted to make it like that, I guess.
Oh my gosh, Batman would be going through the roof.
Yeah. I mean,
and Superman
X-Men,
too.
That's another one. X-Men 1 million. But no, the legacy numbering, I like it. Don't get me wrong, but it's probably not entirely accurate.
Yes.
Yeah. It adds to the confusion of comic collecting.
Well, it certainly gives people more fodder to talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
On YouTube and in stores and everywhere else, I guess. But no, actually, too, I have recently. It's kind of hard to see them. I'm not going to show every one of these, but
all the different Jim Starlin ones.
Yep, the Thanos Infinity ending, conflict, siblings, finale, relativity, and revelation. This is one of those things that I'd love to have Starlin sign. But also on the other token, I don't know if he would, because this is why he left Marvel. So,
yeah.
Well, you'd hope he would sign it for you. I mean, you're a fan of his work, not a representative of Marvel.
Right.
But I don't know how touchy he is.
Yeah, I don't either. But I've been a fan of his ever since I was a little kid, and I got The Death of Captain Marvel.
Nice.
Graphic novel. They called it graphic novel back then, but
right, that was like one of their first Marvel graphic. That was their very first Marvel graphic.
It was, yeah. And I just loved that, story. And then, years later, when I became more knowledgeable with everything, I wondered why Silver Surfer was there. But that's a whole nother thing that they answered.
Yeah.
In the 1990s, Silver Surfer issue 14. But it's I got those, and other than that, I've been pretty busy doing something else. So,
hey, Biggie says Starlin is very cool in person. So there you go.
Yeah, I bet he is. I've never met the guy. I'd love to meet him. But
I think he hung out at Bueller's booth at the Washington SummerCon.
He did. Yeah, I saw that. Him and his.
Yeah, he seemed pretty cool. His girlfriend,
the person he works with now,
manager,
whatever. Yeah,
or both.
Whatever. But no, right now I think Marvel's kind of coming out with some of the better comics than they've come out with in quite a while. I know a lot of people, they just get independents, but
yeah, well, I have been mostly independents, but all the Marvels I've gotten in the last few months have been really good. So I'm starting to think about getting more Marvel again.
Right. And so am I, actually, with Donny Cates starting the Hulk, I'll try it.
Yeah,
will I stick with it? We'll see.
Yeah.
I would love to see what Al Ewing would do with Mr. Immortal, other than just stick him on a rock at the end of time.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what he could do with him. But I'd like. I'm interested to see what Donny Cates is going to do with Hulk, and what implications that has to do with Thor, because he always intertwines everything.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right, and then the Cosmic Ghost Rider is blowing up again.
He is? Oh.
in the back issue sales again. So,
okay. I didn't know that.
Is he going to throw that in the mix? I don't know. But it'd be interesting to see that. And then Rom V's take on Venom.
Yeah. So, it's hard for me to even imagine what Rom V would do with Venom.
I know, isn't it? That's why I'm so
kind of
intrigued.
like a poetic kind of writer.
Yeah,
And Venom
yeah.
doesn't seem like your poetic kind of character.
No.
And are they going to be splitting it up between the Sun and Eddie Brock? I'm just wondering how that's going to work.
Well,
You
is
would
he
think that they are.
splitting writing chores with Al Ewing?
No, I meant splitting. Having the character of Eddie Brock's son on one part, and then the next other part being Eddie Brock.
Switch back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
I have heard that they're going to do more son stories. I can't remember his name now, but I have heard that they're going to do more with.
Excuse me a second.
His son's name is Dylan.
Yeah, and when he gets back, I'll bring this up again. But I think Rom would be really good with the son. That maybe.
Yeah.
Now, have you read any? Seriously though, have you read any Rom V stuff at all, Sam?
I have not.
You haven't? Okay. Yeah.
But I hear a lot of good things all the time. So.
Yeah, I mean, his Swamp Thing is fantastic.
Yeah.
Savage Shores is phenomenal. The blue and the green, something or other. It's a trade paperback with Image. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was saying, Damien, that Rom might be pretty good just writing the Sun stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, there's not much, it's kind of virgin territory in writing because you don't have much to do it, So
you can kind of write start your own path with that character,
Sure.
Right. You can take it any direction you want, really.
Yeah. As long as the editor lets you. But also too, I'm looking forward to Spider-Man and seeing what they're going to do with the clone, Ben Reilly and Peter. Now that it's been, they released that Peter's not going to die again.
No, he's not going to die, but he'll be hurt. I'm like, well, he's been hurt before. And you're going to have him in the hospital for an extended period.
Yeah. But, there's just a lot of interesting things happening at Marvel. And I think it's all pretty positive at this point. So, kudos to them. And Doug Mankey and whatever doing a Swamp Thing Black Label series. Have you seen that, Damien?
I didn't know about that, but I'll definitely get it.
Gosh, who's writing it? I can't remember. Maybe it'll come up in the chat. But Doug is doing the interior art.
He's a really good artist. I like anything he does.
Yep. And he's going to be at SuperCon, so that's cool. So I'll get to meet him again.
Yeah.
It's been a little while. If you look above me, above the crow thing, that's a Doug Mankey print that he signed for me. And I've got some other stuff too, but he lives relatively close.
I don't know what's going on at DC anymore because they're not in previews anymore. So I get previews and it's got Marvel and it's got all the indies, but I guess soon it won't have Marvel either.
Well, DC does have an insert now that they are printing, and Penguin is your LCS should be getting it if they don't have it already. You just don't know about it.
My LCS usually knows a lot less than I do.
So
I need to tell them there's a DC preview.
Yeah. It is thin. I mean, they highlight, they don't put much in it, but they do have a lot of the cover work in there, and they do have a lot of the synopsises, if you want to call it that, of some of the new books. And then they've got all the trades that are coming out and things. It's much thinner than what Marvel puts out now. I'm guessing Marvel will do the same thing. DC tried that digital format thing for quite a while, and it bombed.
Yeah, I found it once and then I forgot how I found it and then I didn't find
it. So I mean, hopefully Marvel will keep going with whoever they're distributing through and keep it going, the previews thing. There's some collectors that are really into it, so
into the previews.
Yeah.
I always throw mine away, but then later I think, maybe I should have saved them. But they take up so much space.
They do, and they're so heavy. Yeah. It's like I don't ever want to move with them, so I got rid of them. But yeah. Now I did get the Lee Mobist.
Oh, nice.
They collected the 2-issue series from the 80s.
Is that the hardback?
Terrible. No, I didn't get the hardback. I've got the original issues.
When did they collect them?
They've reprinted them a number of different ways, haven't they?
Yeah. There's a hardcover that's got a lot of.
I'd like to check that out.
And then they got the cheap soft cover. I'll have to see. Can't remember.
I think I have an edition that has the Mobius Silver Surfer, and then it also has a John Buscema Silver Surfer, but like a graphic novel that Stan Lee did with him.
Yeah, no, this is just
the Mobius.
Yep. And then it's the 2 issues done by Epic back in 1988, and then they have a whole bunch of extras in it also.
Like Biggie Shack said, the Graders Notes show, if people are familiar with that, they're going to be doing this Mobius Silver Surfer next.
Oh, they are? Oh, that's going to be great.
The tricky thing about that is it's on one of 4 channels.
And then they also put in there the Marvel Age 71.
Ah, nice.
That they talked about and then there's a bunch of extra Mobis art work.
Oh yeah, my version has that too. Yeah.
Does it? Okay. This is probably the softcover reprint of whatever you had.
Well,
here's another.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
is this the cover of the one you have?
Yeah, that looks familiar. Yeah.
Damien?
Yeah, I think I have that cover.
Yeah. So I just loved the story. And when I was a kid, I loved it too. So I saw it, picked it up. I'm sure it's been out a while. It's no big, newbie thing, but it's just a different way to enjoy it and all the extras.
You know what's crazy? Mobius artwork, he's like one of the most famous artists in the world, comic artists, and it's almost impossible to get in the US other than that Silver Surfer. I was looking up because Marvel Epic published a bunch of trades of his back in the day, and those go for like $150 a piece now. Yep. So I decided instead to start filling in my heavy metal collection because all of the Mobius is in there. It actually seems a better deal to me to get the old heavy metal than to actually get the reprints of it because those reprints are so hard to buy.
Yep.
It's just really strange that we can't get Mobius more.
Right. And I don't know what licensing agreements or something, I guess.
Yeah, the estate of Mobius, maybe there's legal problems there or something.
Yeah, well, I have a Spider-Man 800 cover that he did and a Wolverine #1 cover that he did.
Nice.
So, they're out there.
Right. There's dribs and drabs of his stuff in the US market.
But phenomenal artist. I loved his stuff. Yeah. When you see his work, it's him.
Right. There's no mistake. No one else can replicate it.
But that's kind of, I don't know. That's about it for Marvel for me, I guess. It's been a few it's been a strange few weeks, but
yeah.
I really like the new Defenders written by Al Ewing and with really great art in it. Did you get the second issue of that?
How many issues are there in?
There's only 2 issues so far.
2. Okay.
Yeah, I bet you could still find them if you're.
Oh yeah.
If you're interested.
Yeah.
And I also last week got the new Kazar, and I wasn't expecting much. I just always try him because he's a character I like, but it was actually really good. It was by Zach or Zeb, somebody I know, a writer. I never heard of. Okay. I did. Did you get that one too?
I did, and I don't know.
You didn't like it so much.
It just didn't click with me.
Maybe it was too much like an indie comic.
Maybe.
Because it was kind of like an indie comic, like the art style and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Kazar is also a character that you could have somebody like, Tom King come in and do whatever they want. Do whatever they wanted with him, and I don't think Marvel's going to care as long as they sell some issues.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not an important character in continuity to care about what people mess with him.
Much like the Hypno Hustler.
Where is the Tom King Hypno Hustler?
Yeah.
Hypno Hustler is a whole nother ball of wax. Right?
Yeah. He's even more obscure than Kazar. Yeah. But anyway, the DC about all I'm looking forward to is Nightwing, which is phenomenal. It's phenomenal writing going on in there. And then I'm looking forward to that Swamp Thing.
Yeah. I'll probably get the current Swamp Thing miniseries in a trade. It's a lot of people reading that like it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking, I think. Blame Sleepy Reader.
What are we blaming me for?
For the Kazar. Picking up Kazar. Okay.
Oh, Herm bought it.
Herm is following my lead. He has good taste. He knows who to listen to. Who are you going to believe, me or Sam?
Yeah.
Actually, when it comes to Marvel, you should probably believe Sam.
Yeah.
Have you picked up any obscure things since we talked last, Damien? Like,
yes. Well, sort of obscure. I don't know if you guys watch the Earl Grey channel ever. Anyway, he's a German guy, and he talks more about Earl Grey. You drink Earl Grey, right? Yeah, and so does he. So he named himself Earl Grey.
I see it and I pick it up, but I don't. Yeah.
So anyway, is he going to guest on your show, Damien?
Yeah, he's part of that floating Sunday chat that I do. Or that
I'm part of. That's where I've seen him.
I'm not really the boss of that chat, but I am lucky enough to be on it. So he talked about these. So this is manga based on H.P. Lovecraft's The Mountains of Madness. And I really like kind of the way the cover looks. I haven't started reading it yet, but it doesn't look like manga artwork that I don't like, the manga styles I don't like. So I'm looking forward to reading it. Plus, I'm kind of going through a H.P. Lovecraft phase.
Well, I kind of wish that they would have that in the Earl Grey packets, like a little miniature comic book.
That would be awesome. Tea that comes with miniature comic.
Tea and a little mini comic.
Right. Maybe like a page or two in each tea bag.
Yes.
And you need a spectacle, maybe?
This is 2 volumes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of obscure, I guess. Although I guess it's well known to people in the know. Yeah, I just think that looks really cool there.
Yeah.
Dark Horse makes it? Okay.
Yeah, Dark Horse does the translation of it. And then there's this famous manga guy who does horror named Junju Ito. And so I just went and grabbed a bunch of his books because everyone says they're fantastic. And I've read 2 of them and I thought they were fantastic. So I grabbed 3 more sight unseen. I know nothing about these books. So this one is called Venus in the Blind Spot. And they're always, he gets like premium treatment. He's always in hardback and they're always really fancy hardbacks. So, and I'm kind of become a hardback aficionado. So I like getting these ones with the cool drawings in the inside. It has nice end papers, but I haven't actually looked inside this one yet. So I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But and he does, most manga are like series that go on for 40 volumes, but all of his are 1-volume stories. Oh, and it even has art on the inside of the dust jacket. So that's one of them. And this other one is called Death Stench Creeps Gaio.
God bless you.
Gaio. Something is rotten in Okinawa. This one doesn't have a dust jacket. Oh, that's a pretty picture.
Oh.
You're not going to see that in a Marvel comic, hopefully. Although Donny Cates says the new Hulk's going to be really gross. So his sometimes the best part of his art is like his textures or something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the shading and textures are just that is some intense line work and some of that stuff.
And this is very disturbing looking. Again, I have no idea what it's about. I know it's horror. And then the last one I got is called Love Sickness, and it's a collection of shorter stories. And again, no dust jacket, just it says an intoxicating beauty turns a small town into a bloody hell.
Who publishes those, Damien?
Indeed.
Viz. Yeah, Viz Media.
Viz, okay.
VIZ. So I think they're probably one of the leading manga publishers in the US, I believe.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. So this is all very intense horror. I think, I'm not positive, but I think a number of Japanese horror movies came out of his earlier work, like that Spiral movie, I think was from him.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, there's someone in their underwear. I don't know. So we'll see. When I find time, I'm excited to read these, but I don't know a lot about them. But that's the weirdest stuff I've gotten recently.
Have you read The Wicked and the Divine, Damien?
Divine stuff there.
I was getting it in single issues, and after a while, I just couldn't figure out what was going on.
Same here.
So I stopped getting it, but I've always thought maybe I'd try reading it in trade when the whole story is available at once.
Yeah.
Have you tried? Have you done? I've read the whole thing.
I haven't read the whole thing. I'm not trading it either. Boy, I really gave it a shot in issues, and I just couldn't get there.
Yeah, some Kieran Gillen is fantastic for me, and other stuff is just like, huh? What happened? I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
But it's always worth a try.
Yeah, one Kieran Gillen series that I want to get that they have not collected is a Better Ray Bill series. There's like
I didn't know he did that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think it was him. Yeah, it was. And they've never collected it in a trade.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, and they're only like $10 each, but I want to find them in the wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's sort of I'm big on the hunt.
Yes, I understand
so,
that.
You're a hunter. Yes.
Yeah. Like if I were ever in your neck of the woods, oh geez.
Oh, the hunting you could go on.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, Sam, you had a fantastic haul hunt from Comic Adventure.
I went to Comics Adventure. That's where I got
Bueller shop.
That is where I got the Hypno Hustler. Yes.
That's a very good back issue shop, and usually you can get good prices.
Yes.
Is he just exclusively back issues? Is it that guy? He does just back issues?
No. He's got current stuff.
Okay.
I think Bob has his pull list there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Bueller did Once Upon a Time till he had a falling out with him.
Yeah, I've heard that story.
but yeah, generally he's a nice guy. Apparently he, people have had trouble with him, but he's always been nice to me when I go there.
Yeah. I hear about like is there one retailer that just has just back issues?
The Fallout Comics.
Okay. That's it. Okay. Yep, that's it.
There's probably some. I mean, the shop I go to used to be just back issues, and then people kept asking him to carry new issues. But he still makes. In this COVID boom time, he's gotten rich off of back issues.
Oh, of course he has.
The impression he gives me because he suddenly was talking about buying a Tesla. But comic shop owners own Teslas.
I would say that the shop up in Vancouver, Washington, I Like Comics.
Yes,
it's probably got the best.
That is the place to take. Like if Derek came to town, we would go there first.
Yeah,
and then maybe somewhere else.
That'd be so fun. Oh,
yeah.
But no, and you know what? That's why I'm selling a lot of the stuff that I bought. Is because it's just the back issue boom time. I mean, it's nuts.
It's the time to catch in.
There's one that I'm not going to sell though. Let me grab it.
Okay.
The Hypno Hustler. No.
Well, no, I'm not selling any of Hypno Hustler.
Okay.
For one, nobody would buy it, and two, I've got the world's record collection of Hypno Hustler.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
when you die, there's going to be a headline in the newspaper: "World's biggest Hypno Hustler collection."
Yeah, it'll be my opener. This is one of them that I'll only sell.
The Crow.
In severe times.
Is the Crow a special character for you?
Yeah. Have you ever read it, Damien?
I've read it in trade, not in
English. It's just a giant love letter.
Yeah.
You know, and then the movie, and when it came out, and the lore behind the movie, and then the soundtrack of the movie.
Yeah, it was one of the much better comic adaptations.
Right, and it's a if you weren't born in your 20s in the 90s. If you really want a good feel of what the 90s was, that movie and its soundtrack, so
I saw that movie in a drive-in movie theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you have makeup on when you saw it?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't one of those people.
Makeup is what I'm thinking of.
Whatever that is.
Did you get a wig?
No.
But and also too, then you start learning how and where and everything they printed the comic. Basically,
I don't know about that.
They basically printed it in the back of a comic book store.
Oh, really? Wow.
Really? Yeah.
Did they start a publishing house just for that comic?
No, it had been around, but it basically put them on the map is what it did. Caliber Comics. They were putting some stuff.
Yeah, that's how I knew of Caliber was at the time.
The Crow. But they basically printed it in the back of a comic book store with an old press with old crappy paper. That's why it's so hard to get it. In a 9.6, 9.8 is really tough. So,
yeah, it felt to me. I vaguely feel like it was already a legendary comic by the time I read the trade sometime.
Probably
in the late 90s or something.
Yeah, the movie really, made it hit the stratosphere.
Right.
It's wordy. If you haven't read it yet, just warning you, you got to devote some time to it. It's wordy, but I mean, it's a giant love letter. It's a giant love story, and he put it all out there. I'll give him that.
Did he do anything after The Crow?
He did a number of things, but that's what he's known for is The Crow.
Yeah.
He still does a lot of original artwork and prints and numbers them, and that kind of. He'll go to a few shows, a few cons and things, but he's just known for The Crow.
Well, hopefully the movies paid him well, so so that he can.
Oh, he got paid well.
Hey, so, do you have a top 5 favorite artist?
Choose one of us to give an answer first.
Okay, I will go with Derek. Do you have a top 5 favorite artist, Derek?
Well, Todd McFarlane.
Okay.
He's always been a favorite,
So
going clear back to Incredible Hulk. That's where I was first introduced to him, and then he hit the stratosphere with Spider-Man. Top 5. I'm not going to. I'll let somebody else do one.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I'll start with Neil Adams. Because he was the very first comic book artist I ever. It was in my very first comic, and I still kind of love his work. So that's he's my Todd McFarlane because he was the big shot when I started reading comics.
Yeah, and he was too when I was doing it, but I don't know. It just Todd,
I think Todd's a great artist, but I was, by the time I was aware of him, I was in my mid-20s, I think. So I just didn't glom onto him as much as younger people.
What about you, Sam?
I'm going to go John Byrne.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this one. I just tell a small little snippet. When I was younger, did not care for him one bit, like a kid in the teens. Okay. Now in the past 25 years, I've really glommed on. I mean, I love looking at his artwork. And that's Kirby, and maybe you guys experienced the same thing I did, but when you're a kid and whatever, you look at Kirby and then what you were looking at in the 80s, for artwork, you would, probably like the newer stuff, and, Jack Kirby wasn't maybe too high on your list. And Bill Sienkiewicz, that's another one where when I was younger, you're looking at New Mutants and like, what in the hell is this? But when you get older, you're like, this is like some of the best. I love this, and I'm really, really looking forward to his Elektra covers that he's doing. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen those yet, you got to look for them. Yeah. It's Elektra. What is it? Red, black,
it's red, black, and blood or something like that. Red, white. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah, Damien. Yeah. Oh, you would go nuts for them. Yeah. I mean, they look phenomenal.
Yeah.
Did you get them, Sam?
No, they're not out yet.
Oh, they're not out yet.
They just released the covers.
They're coming out in December.
Oh, they've released the images of the covers.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I should have said that. Yeah.
So I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, the images. It's starting to pop up on Bill's Facebook, Instagram pages, and whatnot. He made a comment regarding the new costume, the Elektra Daredevil costume, and I don't know if he enjoyed doing that, but the end product is just wow. So,
well, I mean, Kirby would be on my list for sure, but since you've already mentioned him, I'll go on to Will Eisner. I just love the spirit, and so that will forever be one of my favorites. And obviously, he had a huge influence too. But I just enjoy his work on the spirit, and I like the graphic novels he did later, but I still love the spirit the most. Cool. What's your number 2, Sam?
You know what? I'm going to go with George Perez.
Nice one.
Because that Fantastic Four is crazy. His Avengers crazy, and guess what? I seen some of that Teen Titans stuff. It's pretty good too.
You snuck a look over at his DC work. Huh?
I was like, what's going on over there in the DC land? Oh, okay.
When no one's looking, he's reading Teen Titans.
Yeah.
I think you'll really like his Teen Titans stuff, and the writing was good too, Sam.
Yeah. Marv Wolfman.
Man.
It's like a really good Marvel comic.
So Marv Wolfman actually did good writing.
He did.
You're not a fan of Marv Wolfman?
Well, he's not one of my favorites.
Okay. Well, his best writing, most people think, would be the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Although I would also put in his work on Dracula as amongst his best writing.
Yeah, that's if I remember right, Uncanny X-Men, ruled back then. And then it was Teen Titans.
Yeah.
The new Teen Titans. I think they were number 2,
Right.
So at the time.
Right. And Byrne and Perez were the 2 top artists, really.
Yeah. Yep.
So Sam's got those top 80s artists.
Yeah.
But let's see what as far as new, I'll do a new one, right?
Okay.
He did Rose for Image. It was a limited series. And Meredith, I can't remember her last name. She's married to a comic guy. Anyway.
Finch.
Meredith Finch wrote it. And then he did the artwork on some of the new Marvel team up with Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan. And now he's doing Magic, the comic. Ig Barreru, Barru, I believe is how you spell it. I really like his artwork. He's down in Central America, I think Brazil. And I really enjoy his artwork.
Nice.
Wow. Picking someone from the new people, there's so many good ones, but it's hard to decide like which one is going to be the great. I actually one of the few newer artists that I've collected original art of was Joe Bennett, and he's just been fired by Marvel.
Yeah.
And he may never work again. And my Joe Bennett art might now not be worth so much money. So I feel funny picking him, but I have some incredible pencils by him.
What did he draw for you, if you don't mind me asking?
He was the Immortal Hulk artist.
Yeah, but I mean for you.
Oh no, I bought pages of Immortal Hulk off of his dealer's website.
Holy smokes. Yeah.
So
I think it'll still be.
Right. A few months ago, I was sure, it would always go up in value, but I don't know. His place in comics history is in danger now. I'm not going to pick him as one of my top 5, though. I'm just trying to think of a. I'm next going to say Sergio Argones. I just love. I took him for granted for years, but now I just love Sergio Argones, and I get excited his new Gru Meets Tarzan is not his best work writing wise, but the art is fine. But
good. He's still doing the art. Okay.
He's still doing the art. He's still very good at, all those crazy details all over the place.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. He's not weakened in the art.
Because he's getting up there, isn't he?
He is. He must be, I would guess, 80, but I don't know for sure. How about you,
Sam?
Number 3.
Do I have to pick a current guy?
I didn't.
He's still working.
Still working.
Oh, okay.
Mix it up.
Well, if we're gonna mix it up, then okay. If I'm gonna do a current guy, though, I'll go with Ryan Stegman.
He is very, very good.
He is good.
Yes.
He does the little secret things too.
Yeah.
Little things you have to really look for in his drawing.
Very detailed.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I first experienced him like on Scarlet Spider quite a while back, and he was already extremely good. He really stood out right away.
Yep. I'm really liking Patrick Gleason right now.
He's an excellent artist. I liked his work over at DC. I haven't seen his Spider-Man work.
Right. And little did I know, he worked under Doug Mahnke.
Were you telling us about this before, that they're in a studio together, or they were?
No, they're not in a studio. They all live close together. So,
okay.
The inker,
and they're in your area.
Yep, the inker for the Batman Red Hood stuff. Okay, and much of Doug's earlier work is Tom Wynn. Okay, and then his lifting buddy is Tom Wynn, and Patrick Gleason started his career under Doug Mahnke, so Tom just posted something up on Facebook about this early photograph of Patrick Gleason, and I think he was doing the inking for Doug at the time, and he spilled ink all over a page that Doug had sent him for Superman 100 or something like that. And everybody in the whole area was kind of joking around in the comments on that, because Gordon Purcell had something to do with that issue, and all these people were naming off all this stuff that he was doing. Tom Wynn lately, and then in the newest episode of Big Brother, you can see he does the comic book covers for the house guests and Big Brother from CBS. He does all that stuff. He's good friends with actually Tommaso Ciampa. His wife is the producer of Big Brother, and they know each other somehow.
You're throwing out all kinds of crazy
stuff.
I
know. Yeah, it's all interconnected. But no, Tommaso Ciampa. Tom Wynn did a lot of Tommaso's early wrestling art, and WWE didn't want to have to pay Tom, so they didn't adopt any of it. But yeah. But Patrick Gleason, he started underneath Doug Mahnke. They all live in that, I don't know, within about 45 minutes of each other. So, yeah. And there's a big con coming out here, Fall Con, I think in a week or two. Well, I think it's this weekend or next weekend, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And all the Minneapolis creators and everything, they at least go there for a couple of hours. And it's out at the Minnesota Fairgrounds, and yeah, it's just packed.
I'm trying to remember. Are you in South Dakota?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't there a con coming up in Sioux
SuperCon?
Falls?
Yeah. Yep. I was the director of that for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So, yep. And then I was involved with it for the first 4 years.
And you were friends with the comic book look guys?
Yep. John Runyon and Tom Devine. Yep.
Yeah.
Tom Devine, he does all the video game stuff for the con. And John Runyon, he hasn't done anything previously, but now he's in charge of the panels.
Did you ever make appearances in Sarge America videos? Like in the car or something?
I may have. No, not in the car. No, not the car videos. But I know Sergeant America. Boom!
Right. I loved him. I'm sad he doesn't do videos anymore.
Yeah. He will eventually.
Yeah. I assume it's because he had the baby and life got more complicated.
Well, the car ones were always funny. They were always awesome, right? Because Sam, just so you know, they'd go into their store, their LCS, okay?
Yeah.
And then they'd go out to their car.
I remember the name.
They'd go out to their car, irregardless of the temperature, and do a quick show, right? You could tell they'd be sweating or freezing to death, showing everything they got. And 30 below, they're out there in the car, shaking, showing the. And then later on, he did it in his bathroom because that's the only place he could get away with doing it.
He called his bathroom his comic book room.
Yeah, the comic book throne.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Yeah,
good sense of humor.
Yeah. He's he tried to get me to do security for football games one year with him. So, but it didn't. I couldn't commit to all the dates, so couldn't do it.
Yeah, and Tom and John are real characters too. So
yeah, they're fun.
They're doing a weekly show. If anyone is not subbed, you should look up a comic book look. They're fun guys from Sioux Falls.
Yep.
Comic book look, huh?
So it's called the comic book look.
Comic book look.
Comic book look. Okay.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Once a week, Wednesdays usually. So yeah, they have that one, and then there's a podcast at Wednesday Comics that from Sioux Falls that comes out here, and then I don't know. Weekly, somebody's telling me to do one, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. We'll see. I know. Bueller's going to visit out here. He's probably going to stay at my place.
Oh, for the con, or you mean someday on his van trip?
Someday on his travels, yeah. I tried to get him to come to this con, but they didn't want any YouTube personality.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't agree with it, but
do you think they think all YouTube personalities are Comicsgate, or was it something else?
No, I don't quite know. They just didn't want any. They even had somebody who I'm not going to mention the name, but they've got a few million subscribers, and they said no to him too. Weird. So I don't know what the skinny was on that.
Yeah. Well, is it my turn, or did you list your number? I think we're on number 4 now. If we're on 5.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really hard, but I think right now my attention has been on Jim Steranko a lot. I've been going back and looking at a lot of Jim Steranko. So I think he's a giant and just really awesome. But I feel bad that I can't.
One of those acquired tastes.
Is he? Yeah. Well, and he changes all the time. Like if you look at his short career, his art looks very different one year than it does the next.
Yeah. He evolved quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
And then he just stopped, which just drives me crazy.
But did you ever hear the story of why? I never have.
Well, I knew he had a falling out with Stan Lee. And then he started his own publishing company, where he did Comic Scene and Media Scene.
Yeah.
But then in the late 70s, he came out with that graphic novel. I have it right here, actually. This is what set off my fascination. It's called Chandler, and they had a series called Fiction Illustrated. I think it's from 78 or 76. And so he did this really finely crafted film noir kind of story. And, it's kind of half prose, half pictures, but it's really brilliant. And then I think after this, he did some work for Heavy Metal with where he adapted the movie Outland. And I think that might be his final comic book work. So, and I think he was getting he was working for Hollywood a lot, doing storyboards and such. And he was a publisher of his own magazine.
Okay.
But this is not easy to find. It's never been reprinted to my knowledge, which is crazy. He's a superstar, and I'm sure people would buy a nice hardback of this, but
that's the first I've heard of it. I'm not saying I've seen everything by any means, but I've seen a lot.
I had it as a kid. I was in the right place at the right time. I bought it at some place with paperback books. But I don't think it ever got reprinted afterwards.
So you found that in a dark alley somewhere? No, I don't.
This I had to order online. And I got it for about $15, but I've seen other people try to sell it for $60, $80. So it's hard to find.
I've often thought Hickman might do pretty good doing that style, the prose.
Well,
Like
yes.
I thought
see
Hickman would be
doing
great
that.
doing that. I think he'd be a lot more effective doing that than what he's doing now.
Right. He
not
seems
that
like
what
he
he's doing
wants
is
to be a
horrible,
prose
but
writer. Yeah.
It's hard to follow, and geez, yeah. I mean, you really got to be paying attention.
Yeah, Hickman's someone I like to read in trade. It's just too hard to do for me in single issues. So what's a number 4 for you, Sam?
You know what? I think I'm going to go with John Romita.
Which one?
Sal Buscema? Anyway.
No. Oh, you just named my next one.
But which John Romita? I'm assuming senior, but I'm not 100% sure.
Senior, but I did like early John Romita.
Early
Junior.
Junior.
Junior. Yeah.
They are both good art. It must be hard to live up to your dad like that.
Yeah, under the shadow of greatness.
One of the greatest, yeah.
Yeah, now he gets a lot of flack for all the square jaws and everything else,
Yeah.
But I enjoy him too.
Yeah, I still do.
He has a lot of talent, and he works hard. He's a hard-working comic book artist.
Yeah.
He pumps it out.
Well, he puts the detail in it. I don't think anything is quick with him.
Yeah.
But, well, my next one, let's see. Oh, boy. Well, it's not Springer. No.
We could have a list of 5
maybe?
just barely okay artists and put Springer.
Yeah. I mean, you can go back and you can do, the big guys, and
right.
And things like that, the 90s. And, but, really, who did G.I. Joe? Great American Hero, Sam.
Is that Herb Trimpe?
Herb Trimpe?
There you go.
Yeah.
I love Herb Trimpe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I really liked his G.I. Joe. I liked his Hulk run. I mean, I knew it was the same artist. I couldn't, but I knew that if I narrowed it down to that one, you could figure that out.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I love that stuff as a kid, and you look at it now, and it's still good.
Okay, who do I pick next? So many choices. Well, I'm going to go with the weird one that's still an old guy's one, Richard Corbin.
Oh, okay.
Who, if you're of the 70s and early 80s vintage, from the heavy metal magazine, but then later he turned up, helping out with Hellboy and doing a stint at Marvel where he, in the 2000s, we did a lot of Max books and stuff. And then he had a return to doing his own work at Dark Horse before he died. So to me, he's kind of a major figure. I mean, I'd really have to do a top 20.
Yeah.
Because everything you guys have chosen, I totally agree with.
Yeah, 5 is rough.
Yeah.
But
there you are. That's for today would be my top 5.
On the fly.
But,
we already gave away your obvious choice.
Sal Buscema, because that's what I grew up with, man. Let me tell you, the Hulk.
Sal rocks.
The Hulk captured me like no other. And then Sal did some spectacular Spider-Man. Rom, don't forget Rom.
We cannot forget.
It was just awesome.
Captain America, Defenders.
Yeah.
You're echoing again, but that's fine.
There must be like a time limit, and then the echo
There
comes
must
back.
be. How many minutes are we in on this one?
Yeah.
59 minutes.
Yep.
Well, we went past 40. We went past 48 minutes, and I thought we were good, but okay.
Oh well.
That's when it echoed on the last.
You're like the walking encyclopedia of Sal Buscema.
I can be, sure.
No, you are.
Okay.
Don't short sell your.
Did you get last month? The Sal comic came out.
I know, but it wasn't a Marvel.
I know, and it was inking. He was inking Ron Friends.
Oh,
I can't remember. It's like the superhero union.
I know. I saw it. I was like, oh, that's so cool, but I don't know. I couldn't pull the trigger.
I mean, I know you like Ron Friends too. It's like you're being unfaithful to your buddies.
I know.
You should get the book. Come on.
Just get that book.
Yeah, and Roger Stern was writing it.
Yeah, you really.
It's like your all-stars on there.
I know it is. You're killing me over here.
For God's sake.
If I see the copy, I'm going to buy it and force it on you.
Go get it.
Force it? Okay.
Force-fed comics.
Read this.
Just go to the closest comic book store near Taco Bell. Grab your box. Grab the comic. There you go.
Herm's asking, what was the name of that comic again? And it's something with the word union in it, but I just can't remember. If I look in CLZ, I can find it.
Well, I'm going to bug it out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think I'm going to play some Red Dead.
2 or just
2?
1?
2. Yeah.
You're gonna go riding off in the sunset.
Herm was asking. The comic was called Heroes Union.
Oh yeah.
The cover's in my CLZ app. I have it somewhere in a box.
That's very Jack Kirby like.
You're right. Yeah. The art was cool. The story, I don't know. Couldn't decide if I liked it or not.
So anyway, it was nice seeing you again, Damien. I'm gonna
love seeing you, Derek. Glad you could come
We'll hopefully talk to you next week. Hopefully nothing comes up, and hopefully I'll be on here again.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll happen.
Of course.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
I probably should go too. But
yeah, I should probably end my show.
So you don't hear the echo on your end.
I don't hear the echo.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I'll get if I see the Heroes Union, I'm going to get it for you.
Okay. Hopefully it's not a $6 or $7 book.
It's a $5 book, but it's like 60 pages.
So it's worth it.
Yeah. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see your reaction to it.
Yeah, I definitely would review it and stuff. Yeah. So.
Okay, yeah, this echo is going to drive everyone crazy, so I guess this is a good ending point.
Okay. So, hey, this was a great show.
It was a great show.
We had awesome
2 great shows, really.
Yeah. Part 1, and then the inadvertent stop in the middle of the show, and then pick back up with part 2. And so this is the end of the show, and I hope everybody has a great day. And I'll talk to you all later.